in the light. One Bible verse goes, then darkness has no part in him. And if that were true, then would you want to hide something? If that were true, would you want to make something seem different than what it is? Would you want to, if you were following the God in heaven and he told you to discipline children, would you want to hide that fact?
So they knew, in some part of them, they knew that it was wrong.
Right. And that goes on a personal level. And I would say almost 100%, 99.9% anyway.
Still.
On a daily basis, that inner conflict. And it's the way it's kept in check is by the fear that's generated by losing your position, because in the community your position is equated directly to your spiritual maturity. And so if you have no position, no title, you have no real spirituality.
Did anything good come out? Yep. Did you participate yourself in this, Jim, and how do you feel about that now?
Certainly. I participated in several severe and many not so severe disciplinary sessions with children of my own child and with other people's children also. And from varying ages, from very young, we began teaching children when they were 6 months old what no meant. And the discipline generally wasn't very severe for a 6-month-old, although some of the younger members would sometimes could not be trusted in that matter. And I mean, I feel bad.
What did you do, for example, to a 6-month-old who reached for candy, or well, you probably didn't have candy around, but reached for whatever, something?
Normally, you would just a smack on the hand, or you know, or a little, just something to get
stick, something to get their attention.
Yeah, something to get their attention. And the general consensus was something not very severe at all, but just something to, when you said no, that they would know when they were disobeying you. That was what was always taught. The disobedience was the offense, not the offense itself. The degree of the disobedience wasn't that important. It was just the disobedience.
When you look back now, are you haunted by any of that? Does any of it, or are you able to say to yourself, I was under the control of someone who was not right?
Well, I take responsibility for myself being there, because I mean, I made the decision to stay there as long as I did, and I'm really glad I left when I did. It would have been better probably to leave earlier, but up to the day I left, I would have defended Gene Spriggs and a lot of the things that he stands for and he preaches. And I certainly feel sorry now for the things that I did that are clear to me now that were solely because I wanted to do what he said. It wasn't coming from any conviction within my own heart that it was right. And so I was just doing what most people there do, or everyone there, in trying to please others by my actions.
To please him, that was the most important thing.
That was the most important thing.
And you too, did you participate in it, Mike, at some?
I did, and you feel really bad about it. But that was the biggest sticking point for my wife and I, is I disagreed with Gene Spriggs' teachings. And I talked about it openly, and you know, we talked about the position thing. That's why I didn't go up in position and kept going down, except that I made a lot of money for them. And that's the only way I could kind of keep my position, I guess. You never get over those things. You know, I remember certain things that I did, like at one time I used to discipline a lot of other people's children. It was just kind of open season. Open season on any kid that was
bad.
And the problem was there were newer members who didn't have much authority or position or anything, so they
insight,
and they just beat the tar out of the kids. And I mean, you'd have to correct them, and we'd talk about this, and Gene would talk about the pendulum swinging, you know, and when teaching about child training would come, the pendulum would swing way up here, and then we'd get lenient, then we'd go way to the right, and eventually we'd get right in here where we were just right, swinging from 3 to 3. And that was the way he explained it away, but it really didn't help all the damages. You ought to hear my kids talk about, Rachel and Kayam talk about the damages that went into them from the way people treated them who had no idea how to raise a child whatsoever.
So these would be very young adults